Well, I'm delighted today to be speaking to Sarah Nibbs from Brighter Futures, a charity here in Jersey. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello, David. Thank you very much.
So it was terrific to see you last night at the PCD dinner. We had 180 guests in the ballroom there. Did you enjoy the event?
I had a lovely time, and thank you for the invitation. It was really kind, and I met two lovely new faces actually who live in Jersey, but I hadn't actually met them before. So it was really nice that even though I live here, I'm still meeting new people.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about Brighter Futures and what it does?
Well, Brighter Futures is a charity that's been close to my heart for about 10 years when I was asked to be an ambassador for the charity, which is someone who talks about the charity and helps them raise money. But Brighter Futures has been around since 2008, so it's our 15th year in 2023, our crystal year, and it just goes to show that we're still very much needed in Jersey. In terms of what we do, we have what I call a 3-pillar programme. So the main reason we're here is to promote healthy and positive parent and child relationships, or main carer and child relationships. So families can come to us who look like your traditional family or any kind of family structure. We will help you. We also work on mental health and well-being of the parent or main caregiver, because if their mental health is good, their child's mental health will be good. And finally, we work on what we call second educational opportunities. So if a parent or carer's numeracy and literacy need building, we will help you do that, and we will help you get those qualifications.
So very practical support to help people improve their lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We currently work with more than 150 families a week from our premises at the bridge, and we have 22 key workers who each support a number of families by themselves. And I would say that we are the definition of a grassroots charity. We help families exactly at the point they need us, and their journey can be anything between 6 months to 3 years with us.
And mental health has really risen up the agenda. It's something that's in the media now. Companies also talking about it. I mean, do you think that attitudes in Jersey here have changed to acknowledge issues? There's some way to go. What's your read on how people acknowledge mental health issues here?
I think that Jersey is becoming a lot more aware of how essential good mental health is. And what we're seeing now is that's actually something that's often set out in, say, charity grant application forms. So they will ask you if you take into account mental health when you're generating your programs. And I think that it's become a lot more acceptable to talk about positive mental health. And to that end, we have qualified counsellors in our team who see our clients. And we also do programs such as Rest and Repair, which teach our clients breathing techniques and ways to look at a situation differently so that you can cope with the things that life throws at you a lot better.
And I mean, how do you provide the support? It must be expensive to provide this level of help and support. I mean, how are you funded as a charity?
So that's a really interesting question. We work on the basis it costs us £5,000 a year to support one family. And as we support 164 families a week, that is an awful lot of money to find.
Yeah.
Our projected operating costs for 2023 are £1.18 million.
Yeah.
And we do receive a grant from the States of Jersey every year for £82,000, but we then pay £24,000 back in rent for our premises at the bridge. I should say that the vast majority of our contributions are entirely voluntary. They are coming from trusts and grant sources, but they're also coming from high net worth individuals. They're coming from corporates and also from events. So events that generate both understanding of what we do, but also income for our charity.
And your event program looks very interesting. We were chatting about it last night. Why don't you talk us through some of the key functions that you might put on through the year?
Absolutely. Well, what happens is we tend to have a very busy June and July. We have August to take a breath, and we get going again in September. So on 17th of June, we've got our White Collar Darts event for an audience of 500 people at the Royal Jersey Showground. We've got 16 amateur players who hadn't played competitively before. They've been trained by Jersey Darts. They come out on the night. they each pledged to raise £1,000 for Brighter Futures.
Brilliant.
And that's going to be great. So I've been at the training. That's been really fun for me too. On the 22nd, Jersey Airport are kindly letting us run the runway. So after dark, that runway gets shut, all the planes have gone, and people can actually run on a piece of tarmac they'd never normally get to use. So that's unique again.
You've got to be creative, haven't you?
Yeah,
you know,
that's what we find. I mean, we also do, I have to say, we've got some very kind private supporters. So we do events in private homes as well. And we do get that amazing behind the scenes support, but we do have to be creative, and we're also doing things in different parts of Jersey. So in July, we're going to ask our Brighter Futures families to come down to Howard Davis Park, and we also have the Memorial Hall there, and we're going to enable some of our corporate supporters and personal supporters to meet our families who will enjoy a picnic, and so that they can actually understand exactly what we do and how we positively impact people.
So for companies supporting the cause, I mean, what kind of relationships are you looking for with you? You've got some great companies here in Jersey, in professional services and other sectors. How do they engage with you? What's the best way for them to engage with you?
The best way that we found to engage with companies this year has been to enable us to go into your offices and for us to present a lunch and learn presentation, and we will get as many of your staff
just to highlight your work,
the board.
is it?
Yeah. So we'll get as many of you as we can just to highlight our work, and then But what I am really hoping to achieve through my partnerships part of my role is a bigger conversation with larger corporations in Jersey about programs where they can help us for, say, up to 3 years, because we have got to even now plan our income streams for 2024. So if any corporates or businesses are available to say, yes, I can support you for the next 3 years, I use a benchmark of it costs me £5,000 a year to support one family. And so I tend to always think in multiples of fives, but I am very happy to have a conversation about any amount, basically.
And companies now are talking and thinking a lot more about CSR budgets, about things like mental health. And this is a very tangible way of them actually making a commitment to that, isn't it? Beyond the surface level.
Yes. And what we do is when people support us, we bring them up to Brighter Futures so you can see exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We have an amazing group of parent ambassadors who will talk about the difference we've made in their lives. And all of our programs are evidence-based and tested. So we know that what we do works. And I think that's a really fundamental issue for businesses, is what you are doing working. And so that's what we like about ourselves. We know we can measure it.
Does that also, do you think, challenge professionals who live a nice life here and who, you know, are in St Helier working in their office, they're out on the road in London and around the world, they can be in a bit of a bubble even though they're living in an island community? Does it highlight and challenge them to think about others?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that bubble myself until recently. I was living and working in London. I'd always been in the legal industry in Jersey and London. And what people often find very surprising is we actually keep a food bank at Brighter Futures called the Larder, and we keep that stocked again through voluntary contributions, and it really is much needed. And people are often very surprised in banks when I say to them, this is what we need on a daily basis. And although I should say that a lot of our clients come to us for issues other than financial difficulty, the main issue we focus on at Brighter Futures is really isolation. And people come to Jersey, and it could be that your partner or you has had a great job, but the accommodation can be precarious. And really, none of us are that far away. And one of the things we hear a lot from our clients is they say, I never thought it could happen to me.
And that perspective also can give people a better sense of well-being. You know, sometimes you need to be challenged to realise how fortunate you are, don't you? And, you know, giving back to community gives people through, and whether it's their company that prompts this or themselves, isn't it? It's got huge value to it.
I think so. And I think that without Brighter Futures helping 150 to 160 families a week, we would honestly have more families in crisis in Jersey. And something that's been really highlighted in Jersey in the past couple of months for various reasons has been that we simply do not have sufficient foster placements.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to place children in an adequate piece of accommodation that isn't their own family. And if we can keep a family together in a healthy way and we can help them work through difficulties they're having, then so much the better for everyone. Because if you do not have a secure childhood, it's very, very hard to thrive in other areas of your life.
But for that, you need the money, you need the fundraising,
We
because
do.
that's the most crucial bit.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, I wake up in the morning and I think, I've got to raise £1.1 million this year.
Wow.
And it's not just me, it's a team effort at Brighter Futures, but I'm the fundraising manager. And so my challenge is getting out there to people and saying just how fundamental we are to really the fabric of the island. Because without charities like Brighter Futures, I can promise you a lot more families would be in crisis and they wouldn't be caught in by us. And one thing about Brighter Futures is we don't judge. It's not our job to say, why did you do this? It's our job to say, how can we help you to get better, and how can we walk alongside you in your journey? And we do get there, and that's the great thing about us.
Well, Sarah, wonderful to see you again today. Great to talk to you, and I look forward to sharing this interview.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you.